Ethan never thought he was bad with money. He worked hard, showed up on time, and believed that as long as he earned a decent salary, everything would eventually fall into place. But somehow, every single month ended the same way, with stress, excuses, and empty bank notifications. The first week after payday felt powerful. He paid a few bills, ordered good food, maybe bought something small to reward himself. The second week felt normal. The third week felt tight. And by the fourth week, he was calculating whether he could delay a payment without consequences. It wasn't that he didn't earn enough. It was that he didn't understand the math behind keeping it. One night, after being declined for a simple dinner payment with friends, Ethan walked home feeling smaller than ever. That embarrassment hit him harder than any late fee ever had. He sat on his couch in silence and opened his banking app. He didn't avoid it this time. He stared at every number: income, expenses, subscriptions, random purchases, coffee, delivery, impulse shopping. It was like looking at leaks in a sinking boat. That was the moment he realized something simple but powerful. Money wasn't disappearing. He was sending it away without direction. The next morning, he decided to treat money like a formula instead of a mystery. If his life was chaotic, maybe the solution wasn't emotion. Maybe it was structure. That day, he wrote 4 rules on a plain sheet of paper. He didn't copy them from a guru. He built them from logic and observation. He called them the 4 rules of the math of money. The first rule was simple: pay yourself first before rent, before bills, before entertainment. 10% of every paycheck would move into savings immediately, not later. Not if something was left immediately. The first month felt painful. It felt unnatural, but something shifted inside him. For the first time, he wasn't the last person to receive his own money. He was the first. The second rule was spend with awareness, not emotion. Ethan started tracking every dollar. Not obsessively, but honestly. He realized most of his spending wasn't based on need. It was based on mood. Stress meant takeout. Boredom meant shopping. Celebration meant overspending. Once he saw the pattern lost power. He began asking one question before every purchase: is this adding value to my life, or just filling a moment? The third rule was increase the gap. Ethan understood that wealth wasn't about how much you make. It was about the gap between what you earn and what you spend. Even a small gap, repeated every month, grows. So instead of focusing only on cutting costs, he looked for ways to grow income. He freelanced on weekends. He sold unused items. He negotiated a small raise. The goal wasn't to impress anyone. The goal was to widen the gap. The fourth rule was the most powerful: make money work while you rest. Once his savings reached a small cushion, he didn't let it sit idle. He began learning about simple, low-risk investments. Nothing dramatic, nothing flashy, just consistent, long-term growth. He stopped chasing quick wins and started building steady momentum. The math was simple: small amounts, invested consistently, compound over time. Months passed, then a year. Ethan didn't become rich overnight, but something far more important happened. The anxiety disappeared. The panic stopped. When unexpected expenses came, he handled them calmly. When friends invited him out, he didn't feel fear. When his phone buzzed with a banking notification, it no longer meant danger. 2 years later, Ethan sat in a different apartment. Not luxurious, not flashy, but stable, comfortable, secure. His savings account wasn't massive, but it was strong. His investments were growing quietly in the background. Most importantly, his mindset had changed completely. He realized that the math of money isn't complicated equations. It's behavior multiplied by time. 10% saved consistently beats big promises made occasionally. Small, disciplined actions outperform emotional decisions every time. The broke version of Ethan wasn't foolish. He was unstructured. The wise saver version wasn't lucky. He was intentional. Looking back, Ethan understood something powerful. Money doesn't control people. Lack of structure does. Once he gave every dollar a purpose, every dollar started respecting him back. He stopped asking, "Where did my money go?" and started saying, "Here's where my money will go." The transformation wasn't loud. There was no dramatic lottery moment. There was no overnight success story. It was quiet discipline. It was delayed gratification. It was simple math repeated consistently. And that's the truth most people ignore. Financial freedom doesn't begin with a bigger salary. It begins with a better system, for simple rules, applied consistently, over time. The math of money isn't about numbers on a screen. It's about decisions made in silence. It's about choosing future peace over present impulse. It's about building a life where money becomes a tool, not a source of fear. Ethan was once broke, confused, and constantly stressed. But by understanding the simple math, save first, spend consciously, increase the gap, and invest consistently, he didn't just change his bank account, he changed his life. And the formula is available to anyone willing to follow it.